It was just over a week ago when Ayan Sumo Pangelian was playing, and then a week later, the 7-year-old caught a cold and was hospitalized, and is on a machine that is keeping him alive at UF Health Shands Children's Hospital in Gainesville, Florida. Ayan has had a heart condition since birth. His mother, Tona Pangilinan, explains how her doctor at the time, Dr. Thomas Shea, saw an anomaly in Ayan's heart during her 20-week scan and that he would essentially need surgery after.
So I left when I was 26 weeks, 27 weeks, and went there and had delivered at Good Samaritan Hospital. And then Ian was transferred 3 hours later for his to Children's Hospital LA.
Over the next several years, they would travel back and forth to LA for Ayan's cardiac care. To be closer to her parents and other relatives, and most importantly, accessible cardiac care, they picked up and relocated to the Sunshine State in 2021. During the 2 years out there, Ayan was doing good. How Tona describes it, he was an energetic kid up until earlier this year when they found out he needed a pacemaker.
He had his pacemaker placed in March of this year, and then just from that time on, he was just getting sick every day. Um, still, still being Ian and still acting the same, just a little bit more tired and, not wanting to do the things that he normally does.
Despite such health hurdles, Ian thrived in school. He's a mathlete and loves the subject. He loves playing with his cousins and his two siblings, but Tona says her boy is very sick.
He's not okay. He is on a machine called ECMO, which is a machine that does the work of your heart and your lungs. So it's doing it for him so that he's not trying to work so hard to recover.
The bottom line, Ian needs a heart transplant. He's not officially on the list because he's still sick.
They're trying to get him to the point where he is not so sick where he can't be listed. So he's currently in evaluations with the intention of a heart transplant. So he's um he's intubated right now. He's on the ECMO machine. And plans to come off of that are just depending on how well he does during this time. And then there's this device called an LVAD that essentially is like wearing a battery to keep your heart and lungs going.
He will wear that until they find a suitable donor for him. But through it all, this little boy they've nicknamed Sumo continues to smile and remain positive.
They always say, Tona, how are you so strong? You're so strong. And I always tell them it's not me, it's Ayan, because he can be so mad and he can be going all through these things, but he always has a smile on his face. You know, he can be tired, but he's still cracking jokes. He's my little comedian. He's just like his Papa Lolo. Just he's just Sumo.
And if there's any message to get out to the island community,
And always says, Mom, I'm gonna be okay because God loves me. So prayers first. That that just gets me every time he says that to me. We want him to know that his home is praying for him. His home has his back 100%. And I know that you all do because, you know, the culture that we come from.
Joan Aguon Charfauros, KO News.